Alright, Shalom, Yashab. We back to finish off the articles from earlier. You got it?
Yep.
Go ahead. You have to probably speak up a little bit because the mic on this side.
In the beginning, starting off, all praise y'all by Shimmy Al-Shai.
Again, all praise you, how about Shimmy Al-Shai?
All praise y'all by Shimmy Al-Shai.
Blessed the elect, bow to the elders of GMS, And we are the Nebraska Watchmen, in case you didn't know, really not relevant. But continuing on with the article on BBC News, they said on Friday about 2,000 people marched under the Occupy Wall Street banner to New York's police headquarters to protest against arrests and police behavior.
Yeah, so they going all out. They going to the police headquarters. Not just out there on the streets. They going to the headquarters where the police is at.
Yeah, because remember they said earlier that they arrested them on 500 people.
Yep.
So that's why they marched to police headquarters, So
and sorry.
You go ahead.
Not only that, and we can get the article here in a second, but it was one of the bigger banks. They gave the police in New York like $2.4 million.
Yeah.
You seen that?
Yeah, I seen that. I didn't watch that video though.
You're getting ready, man.
J.P. Morgan?
Yeah, it was J.P. Morgan.
Yep.
Okay. On Friday, about 2,000 people marched under the Occupy Wall Street banner to New York's police headquarters to protest against arrests and police behavior. Some 80 people were arrested during a march on the 25th of September, mostly for disorderly conduct and blocking traffic.
Yep, and notice it said they was protesting at the police headquarters because of the action that the police was using. Cause if you look at these pictures, it ain't nothing but Esau, So if they doing it to Esau, imagine what they gonna do to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But we know how Jake is. Jake gonna fight back. Esau just add more protesters and shit. We outnumber y'all.
Esau sitting in the prison like Gandhi and shit, Jake ain't going to jail.
It's like I said, man. Esau, he protests, Jake riot.
Yep. Right. Says some 80 people were arrested during a march on the 25th of September, mostly for disorderly conduct and blocking traffic. But one person was charged with assaulting a police officer.
So they whooping the police ass, man.
Right.
So they ain't scared of the police. These is Edomites. So imagine when Jake, when it finally click in Jake mind that this white man ain't your friend.
And then the last paragraph, it says a series of other small-scale protests have also sprung up in other U.S. cities in sympathy with the aims of Occupy Wall Street.
Yep. So it's like a little sickness, man. A hot shoe. Bam. Then it spread. And then it's just spreading and spreading. And it's going to keep on spreading. Because these people, they standing up for their rights. They standing up for their right to live. They right for quote-unquote freedom. All of that.
That's pretty much it to that one.
They got tired being backed into that corner. Now it's time to fight back.
And like they said, they the 99%.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The 99% only holding 30% of the wealth in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So if 1% is holding 70% of the wealth, if the 1% is they own all the newspapers, the news stations, the radio stations. That's why this word ain't really getting out. That's why it's a social media movement.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because in one of the pictures they said stop the media blackouts. Cause you got it in other cities like he was reading, and they not even some of them the news just hitting today, like where was that at? There was one you told me earlier, I forgot. I don't know.
Omaha, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Omaha, they posted it on Facebook. So people getting tired. Was it more to that, or that was the end of it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right. We get the one in Press TV.
Okay.
You go to the link I sent you.
All right. I was looking up the cities, trying to find any cities that protested. See if we can find any direct cities that protested on Wall Street.
Go to OccupyTogether.com.
Okay.
Because you got the whole list.
And what my Google too?
Matter of fact, we can just
Yeah.
got the map right here. Everything with a black circle around it. You know what I'm saying? They protesting. It's Miami. You know what I'm saying? Tampa, Jacksonville, North Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, even Maine. It's in Canada. What's that? Toronto, Buffalo, Cleveland, Dayton, Columbus, Louisville.
I got it. I got a little article.
Minnesota. Go ahead.
This is from this is top stories in New York. Okay. The title is Wall Street Protests Digs In Spreads. Okay. So it says over the weekend budding copycat movements spread across the country with similar scale protests planned via online social networking sites, like you said.
Yep.
Facebook, Spacebook, invaders Facebook. Protesters held sizable gatherings in Chicago, Boston, and Los Angeles, and other cities like San Francisco and Pittsburgh. Protests were smaller or existed only in a planning stage.
Right hand side.
It says a website, like he said, occupytogether.org, lists groups that are offshoots of the New York protest activists have begun organizing outside the U.S., including in Pratt, Melbourne, and Montreal. A map of the country displayed in Manhattan Park held by demonstrators identified 21 places where other protests were organized. And I'm going to go to occupy.org.
All right. I'm on it right now. I was just looking at the posters that they got.
Go to the right side.
To the right side? Over
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, now scroll up.
Oh, all them places?
Yeah, scroll up.
Right there.
Yep.
Start right there.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to read it off right here. It say the actions, in the Midwest, it say Illinois, Occupy Chicago, Occupy Springfield, Illinois. Indiana, Occupy Columbus, Evansville, Indiana, Indianapolis, Iowa, Occupy Iowa, Occupy Wichita, Occupy Grand Rapids, Occupy Michigan, Occupy Minnesota, Occupy Columbia, Missouri, Occupy Joplin, Missouri, Occupy Kansas City, Occupy St. Louis, Omaha, Nebraska, Fargo, Moorhead, North Dakota, Fargo, Moorhead, North Dakota. What is that? Should I say Ohio? Well, Ohio, it's a Occupy Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, Toledo, Youngstown, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Oklahoma. What is that?
It's
Stillwater.
No, that's the school, Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State University, Occupy Madison, Wisconsin, Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, New Haven, Occupy DC, Occupy Maine, Baltimore, Boston, New Jersey, Albany, New York, what's that? Binghamton, Ithaca, Rochester, what's that? Utica,
Rochester, and
Utica, New York, Pennsylvania got Allentown, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, Vermont, West Virginia, you got Huntington, Morgantown, Wheeling in the southeast. In Alabama, you got Auburn, Birmingham, and Mobile. Arkansas, just say Arkansas. In Florida, got Dayton Beach. What's that? Fort Lauderdale, Gainesville, Jacksonville, Miami, Akola, Orlando, Pensacola, Sarasota, Tallahassee, Tampa, and Georgia. You got Atlanta, Columbus, Savannah, and Kentucky. You got Lexington, Louisville, and Louisiana. You got New Orleans. In Mississippi, just say Mississippi. North Carolina, say Asheville, Charlotte, Durham, Greensboro, Raleigh, Winston-Salem. Columbia, in South Carolina, you got Columbia, Florence. Tennessee, you got Clarksonville, Knoxville, Memphis, and Nashville. Virginia, you got Norfolk and Richmond. Southwest, in Arizona, you got Phoenix and Tucson.
That's Tucson.
Also like it, Tucson. New Mexico, what's that? Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and in Texas you got Austin, Dallas, El Paso, Houston, McAllen, and San Antonio, Salakia. And in the West, in California, damn, they chunky. You got Artica, Berkeley, Chico, Fresno, what's that? Humboldt, Long Beach, Los Angeles, Merced, Modesto, Napa, Riverside, Sacramento, San Diego, San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Ana, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, Ventura, and Colorado. You got Colorado Springs and Denver. In Hawaii, ain't even Hawaii. You got Hilo, Kona, and Oahu. Idaho, you got Boise and Idaho Falls. Montana, just say Montana. Nevada, you got Las Vegas and Reno. Oregon, you got Asheville, Ashland, Eugene, Portland, and Salem. Utah, Salt Lake City, and Washington, Olympia, Seattle, and Spokane. Oh man, they got an international. Want me to read them too?
I mean, basically, it'll be a long.
Yeah,
it'll be a long segment because you got to name 50. Basically, you're gonna name 50 states and the cities in the states. This is nationwide, man.
Yep. And as far as international, I'm gonna just say Asia, Australia, Canada, Europe, and Mexico. So it's not just going on here; it's just going on everywhere. Niggas is getting tired of these rich boys being greedy.
Got a precept we brought out earlier. 2nd Ezra 9:3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world,
and that's what you're saying, earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, because it's not just in the Middle East now; it's all over.
Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee.
Yep, and people, you still got people to this day talking about the white man wrote the Bible or the Bible ain't true. Face it, the Bible is true and as real as it's gonna get.
Even from the beginning, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end.
Just like the so-called white man's rulership.
And the end is manifest.
And it's manifesting. It ain't in full effect just yet, but it's getting there. Because these uproars play a big part. Because with the uproars, you're going to end up having to implement martial law. And eventually you're going to have to implement that chip. And it's going to domino effect.
I gotta finish this off real quick.
Alright.
For like, verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a plain beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs.
Yep, and signs, but it's not plain to everybody, because down from the elders on down, we've been talking about it. before it's been happening, before it's been, you can actually read